Coming to you live from KG5 AHJ's basement. This is the Builders Club. Tonight, 3 men enter, and probably 3 men leave. Shari PiHat. Welcome back, everybody. This is Steve, KM9G, and we've got some mirth on the bench to be made today, courtesy of Ham Radio Dude. And Ham Radio Dude's going to be schooling us on how to make this stuff happen. So, Dude, take it away.
Yeah, maybe I will. It's been a while since I built one, but today we're going to build the Allstar Shari PiHat, and basically it's from N8AR over there in Michigan, and he puts these little kits together and sells them. I don't recall the price, but somewhere between $60 and $80. And basically, it allows you to connect to other Allstar nodes around the country, around the world. It's kind of a cool little node to have just laying around, and it's a fun little build. With that said, again, I haven't done this in a while, so I'm just going to walk through the instructions and see if you guys mess up or not.
And you thought I winged it on builds. So right below us, on the bottom there, is KG5 AHJ. So, Frank, how are you tonight?
Welcome to my upstairs office, because no one has basements in Texas.
I did not know
What's
that.
going on, man?
So what do you mean you don't have basements in Texas? What's going on with that?
No. Well, you think we'll have basement for all the tornadoes? No. It's the clay, man. The clay and the soil. Just chew them up and break them and crack them, and then you got to repair them, and then it just does it again. Man, you're lucky to find a house that doesn't have foundation issues. And then it will have foundation issues.
If it doesn't now, it will soon.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to switch some camera views here and show you all my desk, my fancy. Watch that. Oh, wasn't that special?
Oh,
now the Allstar Shari is available in multiple kits. N8AR does have a kit for VHF as well as UHF, and these will operate on a simplex mode. So basically, for example, mine is 446.500. That's the input, the output, and then I use a CTCSS tone of 107.2. But I don't know what Frank has. Frank, do you have the UHF one or the VHF one?
Yes.
Yes, I think you have the UHF one. There'll be a sticker in there somewhere.
See, I've got the sticker.
We ordered it a while ago.
Oh yeah, it's been a minute.
I need to find the processor and probably tell me. T.O., what knife did you have?
What do you mean, what knife? What knife?
Yeah.
Oh, check this thing out. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, man.
This is my
good envelope opener.
My camera knife.
And so if anybody's not familiar with the Raspberry Pi, they're like a 35 to, well, now they actually go up in price because these are based off the Pi 4, the Raspberry Pi 4, right?
Yeah.
And so, you might be paying a little bit more, somewhere around $99 at maybe the max for a Pi 4. But Raspberry Pi is just a small computer that has endless possibilities and runs off a Linux operating type system or a .NIX operating system. Sorry, I saw my dog.
See, there it is. It's a plastic bottom, Sean. Sean was thinking that there was some complaints with this being a metal case that Wi-Fi wouldn't get out properly, but it's a plastic bottom.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
So
this is a nice case.
Yeah,
Dude,
it is a really nice case.
I've been playing with it before stream, and that's all I'm doing. What is this? What do we got?
Hey, Andrew Silty, welcome to the chat. He loves his Shari. I'm glad he's here today. He's probably gonna be I'm gonna tag him. I'm like, Dan, Andy, we need your help.
It's a nice case.
So we'll get all that stuff apart here, and then we're gonna start it up. So, one of the things we're not gonna do today is the first instruction. And if you guys already did it, great. But the first instruction is to drill a hole through that aluminum case to be able to put your antenna through. And
is that what this plastic thing is?
Or your SMA connector. Yeah, that's part of it. But you guys could always do that at a later date, and just drill it later, and then and hook it up later. But I just figured, as far as we got about an hour tonight, and I don't know that we'll have enough time to drill, because that drilling is you have to get it precise. Steve has his Shari up and running.
I'm going to call a mulligan on that and go to my friends who have drill presses and know what they're doing.
That would probably be the better bet because I will openly admit that when I used a drill, I thought I had it all lined up correctly, and I must when I was drilling kind of went off a little bit, and then I had to buy a new case, so that was kind of a pain.
Ooh.
I guess I need a nice little. What do you got there? Okay, so you got a couple wires. You got an SMA connector. Looks like you got the SA818 chip, which is in that envelope on Frank's screen right there, that little tiny envelope. Yep.
This thing.
And now, a word about that SA818 chip that Andrew Silthy had explained to me is those SA818 chips aren't just, you don't just buy them anywhere. N8AR actually has them custom made, and they're modified slightly to work with this whole setup. So you can't just get any SA818 chip and expect everything to work.
Man, this case is sweet.
It is.
I love the case.
So what's step one? Because I'm just playing with stuff right now. You know me.
Yeah, I was just making sure that everybody had everything taken out of the packaging and everything. So step one would be to drill the holes here. And let me just bring this over here real quick. Step one would be to drill the holes, which I think we're going to go ahead and skip for right now.
Does this tell you which one I have? It says Shari Pi 5. I don't see a UHF or VHF.
It's the V is the VHF.
The V is the VHF? All right,
Yep,
there it is.
Hey,
Perfect.
Ape's here. Welcome, Ape.
The VHF, it's a good one, right? I got UHF because I don't know that they had the VHFs available when I bought them here. But so our first step, we got everything disassembled. We'll talk about the image here in a little bit. I think you both already have the image downloaded and put onto the computer, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. So the first step being to take the 3D printed part and to drill the hole. We're going to skip that here for right now. And then
I like the anti-static bag. Nice.
There's actually two holes you have to drill. There's another one that's on the aluminum case where it says pin 20 or pin 20, I think it is. But again, we'll do the drilling at a later date or offline here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install the SA818 chip. And I'm just going to kind of read this a little bit here. It says first you'll solder the SA818 radio module to the PC board in the U2 position. So essentially you guys have that chip. Both of you pull it out here real quick. Excellent. And then go ahead and let's get your SHARI PiHat board. Nice. Okay. Now there is a special orientation for these, and basically, let's see here. I'm just trying to make sure that we get it right. Actually, there's only one way it should be able to go because you have 4 pins on the top of the SA818. I guess I should have just done this along with you guys. It would have been a lot easier. 4 pins on the top of the SA818. It's only going to go one way, right?
Mm-hmm. So how do you recommend soldering this? I've seen a couple techniques. Some people put some solder down on the board first, like kind of glob it a little bit, then put the chip on, and then reheat that joint so it solders together, and then they go around the board with the soldering iron.
Yeah, so the way N8AR says it in his instructions, and this is the way I followed it, is he says flow a small amount of solder onto pad 13 outlined in red on the SHARI PiHat PCB. And so since you might not have that instruction in front of you, if you're looking at the board where you see the 4 pins on the top, we'll call that the top, right? On the opposite side of U2, and you look to the right, it's the second pin down. And you want to put some...
Rotating.
Oh, yeah.
That's just not fair.
There you go.
Hold on.
So you're talking about to the right, second pin down this one?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
And he wants a little bit of solder on that pin.
Yep.
Your zoom's better than mine.
I have a Canon camera too, Frank.
I got a 55 lens.
Canon is dude's favorite camera.
I do like my Canon.
I love my Canon.
That's your Sony.
I wish... Oh, wait. Yeah, my bad. I guess I had one of those moments, those senile moments here.
Too much essential oil sniffing.
Yeah, if you guys haven't heard the news today, my essential oil business might be out of luck because they're now linking essential oils to seizures.
So if this were me, I would put I'd put a blob of solder on each one of these pads.
And I think Frank is at the right one right now, the second pin down there.
All right, there's some there.
Very good.
And
It's a good
Cam,
boy, Frank.
All right, so now it says use the following procedure to solder the module. Be sure to orient the module so the holes are on the module aligned with the PC pads on the board. Place the
Okay.
U2 radio module in the correct position on the board. Reheat solder on pad 13 from the previous step and reposition the module as necessary. And let the solder cool to hold the module in the correct position.
So okay, so the chip. Can you see that? No. Now I need to focus. So what you're saying is the chip itself has the little cutouts. I'm trying to show it, but it's not working.
Yes, and each one of those little cutouts that are kind of circular,
There it
half circle, right?
Yeah.
Each of those half circles should have like some kind of conductor of electricity on there or a trace on there, right?
Yep. I was just trying to demonstrate that for the camera,
Oh, cool. Yeah, absolutely.
being a good YouTuber and all.
I guess if I was a good YouTuber, I would have just done this kit along. Okay, cool. So it looks like TEO's got it in. We'll wait for Frank to get done here. And then it says to solder pin 1 through 7 first. And so pins 1 through 7, let me take a look here while you guys are doing that.
Now that we can't see him anymore.
Yeah. I'm gonna reorient the board where all the labels are correct.
So pin 7 is the... So if you're looking at it where the 4 contacts are on top, away from
Yep.
U2, to the left is pin 7 and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to solder the left side first.
Okay.
So the left side with the 4 pins on top?
That's correct, Frank.
Okay. Because technically it's upside down on the board.
You're right.
I'm not
But
nitpicking here.
but if I ever did anything the right way...
So what do you think of little solder things like this? Where-
here's the thing with those. Solder is an interesting thing because you could get really good quality or bad quality, and I have not personally had luck with. Like I got something like that from Micro Center, I think, and it just wasn't great. However, I'm sure they do have little kits like that maybe are good. I tend to use. Let's see if I can put that on the screen here. These MG Chemicals make some really good solder.
Yeah, they do. This is ugly.
And while you guys are going ahead and doing that, I'm just going to give a shout out to everybody in the chat today. What's up, everybody? I see Andy Cowley's here, and he's first as always. Smoking Ape, he could feel the anxiety. Kevin, KC3ONL, Ron Walensky, Tango Oscar Mike, and I'm going to kind of page up here a little bit more. I see Philip Moth is in there, and Wild Hogs and Ham, Steve, K04AFL. Just out of curiosity, I see Chuck, AK6USY. How many people here are on All-Star and hopefully ready to maybe connect up and have a big All-Star party later, right?
Is Kyle in here? Where's Kyle? Kyle!
I did not see Kyle yet.
Kyle! The biggest all-star person out of us all here.
And it's, Kevin says liquid flux bath, and I guess it's not a bad idea always to put flux on your solder contacts before you go to town, right? Nice. MG Chemicals.
I'm going to do that on the next side. I don't like it without the flux, but I don't know if I would like it with the flux.
I don't have any flux.
So your solder should have some flux built into it. And I use Kester, and it's the 6734, 6430, whatever. I don't know. But it's the one with real lead.
Ooh, the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have a bead right here I'm trying to negotiate out. I'm going to leave it alone and cool for a minute and come back to it.
And I'm sorry here, I just got to mute. I'm getting these text messages, and I thought I muted that already. There we go. Yeah, it looks like Steve's got his Shari up, and Andrew Silty's got his up. And Randy asked what kind of Pi are they building, and it's we're using the Pi 4.
Pi 4, yep.
With the All-Star Shari PiHat. Now, if you guys don't know what a hat is, it's just basically we're building a little board that's going to go on top of the Pi. Now, N8AR does have a USB pluggable Shari device as well that plugs into 2 USB ports. But actually, this is a lot nicer because it's all one unit now, right? So you can kind of carry it a little bit easier. Things are a little bit easier. Wild Hogs and Ham needs to buy a better iron. I gotta tell you what, I bought this COZ8586. Let me see if I can't get it on screen here. And it was like $50. And I'm happy with it. Came with a bunch of extra tips. Let's see here. It's been a pretty decent one.
So even the 4 on top.
Okay, so after you do those 7, what's up?
Going on to the other side.
After you do those 7, it says to let's see here, where to go. I wasn't prepared.
I went to the other side and started doing the other side.
Oh yeah, I did them all too. I'm all done.
That's it says next to solder pins 18 through 12 and then 8 through 11 last. So do the right side and then the top ones.
Where is my
Steve,
brush?
you're already done? Dang.
Yeah, I went around the horn.
Now you could, if you guys had a multimeter, you could always check to make sure there was continuity, by following the traces and so forth.
Okay, that's not good. It's touching the shielding. I need a solder sucker. I still haven't bought one yet.
Let me see if I could do it virtually here. You ready? That didn't work. And Ron says he's got a Yahuwah 939D. Let me take a look at that real quick.
Get off. Come on. I thought I learned this lesson after last time.
Now, Steve, do you have a multimeter handy?
I do have a multimeter handy.
What I would do is make sure that none of those contacts are shorting out the actual SA818.
Yeah, that's probably good.
I think that's what Frank is having a little bit of an issue with at the moment.
So how would I go about doing that? Just check the metal shield?
Put one prong on your metal shield and one on each solder point and just go through the solder points. And just make sure that none of them are going beep, because if they go beep, that means you essentially shorted it out, right?
Well, one of them should be grounded. Nope, there's...
I bet you that's probably ground. The bottom left? Right there, yeah. And we could actually take a look here at the instructions just to confirm that.
Yeah, I think that might be the ground connection.
As I recall, I think it was.
One of them should be, and I only have one of them that is. But that's just logical, deductive reasoning.
And
Which
whenever
volts did you run? What did you put your
continuity? Have you done a continuity test before, Frank?
No, maybe. Is it this guy?
Yes.
Well, touch your two probes
touch
together.
your prongs and it should go beep.
You never cross the probes.
You could do it. There you go. Good. Yeah,
that's Frank.
He did. Oh wait, no, that was
me.
you. God, there's too many screens on here, guys.
No, I don't hear a beep.
Well, your meter's moving, so you might not have a beepable meter.
Or it might be on some kind of mute or something like that. But it is moving, so that's
So I've got a
indication that
cheap
there's
meter.
continuity.
Where is it? I've got a cheap meter, and on mine, I have that little sound signal. So the bottom one is ohms, and then the sound signal, and then a diode checker.
So Smoke and Ape says you need to hit the select.
Where's select? Low.
Good.
Low. low, low. I got movement there.
Which one are you on? The bottom left, right?
Bottom left with the teeth up has something, so that could be ground.
So that's not the one that I have.
Okay, let me check real quick here. Stand by.
Low. Movement there. Low. Low.
My guess is
Low.
bottom left is not ground because there's a trace there that goes to, is that a diode or a resistor? I can't tell. Now, Frank, if you look at that bottom left, one, can you see any solder visibly touching the SA818 casing?
Not really. There's some solder next to the shielding in the case, but I think that's holding the case on. So I guess I should get a solder sucker.
I like your sticker, Tio.
Yeah, it is a nice sticker, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what lens do you have again, Tio, on your camera?
This is just the straight up Vixia RF HFR 800.
55 to 200, 200 to...
Oh, I have no idea. I'm not a camera dude.
Hiya.
It says pin 13 is a no connect, so if you should end up with it shorted to ground, or the shield, that is okay. And so pin 13 being 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, it's still not the one that you have shorting.
So, should any of these be going to ground?
I'm going to read this real quick.
Because I have a bunch that are going to ground. So this is your power connector, and these two outside ones are connected. I think that's ground. And
Sorry,
then the center is positive.
Hold on. I gotta get on screen here. I only have like really one full monitor to work with here. So I'm sorry. What were you saying? I'm on screen again.
These 3 pins down here at the bottom, I think, is a power connector.
No, that's going to be for your SMA adapter.
Kinda? Okay. So then the external are ground, and they're connected, and they should be. And then
That's correct.
that pad is not. This pad here is. So I've got a bunch of these pads that are connected to the ground, which is not necessarily a problem. And then just this one that's connected to the shield, which I can't clear up.
Okay, let me read this real quick here. The SA8 module pin numbering is shown in the photo, which we've kind of explained it already. And the pin numbers increase clockwise from pin 1, which is what we call the bottom left. And note pin 7, 9, 10, 11, blue arrows are connected to the ground off the PC board. So 7, 9, 10, and 11 should be connected to ground of the PC board and the shield of the module.
Okay.
So that would be the upper left one. The last 3 on the top right. So that one, which should be ground.
Yep.
And then on the top, that should not be. And then that should be good. That should be.
Okay. So those 3. That one,
Yep.
that one, and that one only.
All right, so I got...
That upper left one that's on the top, the first one on the top left should not be ground.
It is not. It's the
Okay.
It's the 2 middle ones.
And then that last one should be ground also.
This last one?
7, 9, 10, and 11. 7.
Yeah, so I can't see the pin numbers anymore because mine's turned upside down now.
Here's what I'm trying to explain. The upper left one.
This one.
Is this in the...
Okay, now go down one more.
Over here?
That's 7.
Yeah.
And then the next one up is 8.
This one. 8.
No, up.
What page number are
8.
you on?
8. Okay, so that one should not be grounded. And then
It is not.
And then 9 is the next one, so that should be grounded.
Yep.
10 is the next one, and it should be grounded.
Yep.
And then 11 is the next one, and that should also be grounded.
This one should be grounded, but is not. And
Correct.
that's just a board trace.
Yep, 7, 9, 10, and 11. I'm sorry, Frank. I'm on page 11. And I'm going to post this link in the chat, too, if anybody wanted to follow along.
So that you're saying that this setup right here, dude, should be grounded.
Yes, according to the manual, that should be grounded.
I don't see a schematic on my right now. Mostly that's software. Oh well.
Okay, there's actually about halfway down, and I just posted it in the chat as well. That should be the construction manual for this device, and then that should be page 11. And Ron says it makes sense to have more than one ground connection for a shield.
Yeah, I'm not grounded on mine at all.
Do you have? I was gonna say, is it soldered well enough?
I desoldered it because it was connected to the shield on the device, and it still is. But that pad on the circuit board is not connected to ground.
Okay, and it should be connected to ground on the piece of the PC board and the shield of the module.
Yep.
So pin 1 I have ground. Pin 2 nothing. Pin 3 nothing.
Okay.
Keep going up. Oh. I got something from the third from the top on the left side.
Yeah, the only ones that should be grounded are here. Go up one more, Frank. That's 7. That should be grounded.
Yes.
And then the next one up is 8.
8
Which
and no
should-
ground.
No ground.
No ground.
And then the next 3 should be grounded.
Ground.
And those are good.
Ground.
Yep.
No ground.
You both don't have ground on there. Well, no, I just saw it. You had ground on there.
I moved it. I was moving.
Oh, okay.
So one more time. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, not high enough.
So as far as the other ones that show ground on the left side, pins 1 and what was it? 1 and 8, or what was it?
18 and 13.
No, the ones that you were just showing ground on the first side. So pin.
Oh, the first side.
Yep.
1.
Yeah, that should not show ground.
1 is showing ground on the left side.
Does it look like it's not connected at all? Like the solder isn't hitting the
It's
shield
just
by any chance?
No, it's not hitting the shield. It's in the little crevice. Okay, junior high. Ah! I'm glad that's off camera. So, let me see. So just for everyone's point of view, this is not a soldering iron holder or cleaner.
Nope. Good job,
Yeah,
Frank.
I tried.
Now I'm going to read this real quick, and this might help us all. It says pins 8, 9, and 10 may require more time to heat as you are soldering pads connected to a large trace, pin 8, or the board ground plane, pins 9 and 10. Make sure the solder contacts the wall of the hole on all the solder joints in the picture to the right. Note how the solder flows up the wall of the hole to the 2 outside solder joints. So let me see if I can pull this up on screen. Give me just a second here. Can you share my screen, Tio?
I can. So
as you can see here, these are the 3 that they're talking about, and they actually have a couple that says okay, bad, bad, okay. But I highlighted right here what I was talking about. Pins 8, 9, and 10 require more time to heat as you are soldering the pads to connect the large trace, pin 8, or the board ground plane, pins 9 and 10.
There it goes. That one's connected.
Excellent.
So which ones? You said pin 8, 9, and 10.
That need to be grounded, 7.
Oh, no. The ones that have more time.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull that up again. Sorry, it's 8, 9, and
Pins
10.
8, 9, 10 has more time for the preheat. So those are the pins on the top of the board from the right. That pin, and that pin. The top left pin is not noted in that. So I'm
Correct.
just going to hit that a little bit more. Okay. What type of solder sucker or desolder thing you have there, T.O.?
This is just solder wick, solder braid, and it's just copper. This is supposed to be more attractive.
Oh, I see. Ah!
And then if this doesn't work, I can get out my desoldering gun and desolder with that.
But that's noisy. It goes bam, 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 bam.
Yep, it sure does.
Yoink. So this guy's not supposed to have anything. Nothing. Maybe something. Nothing. That's interesting.
I couldn't see which one you were on, Frank.
The pin 8 is supposed to have nothing.
7, 8. Yeah, pin 8 should not have a. It's not grounded. No.
It's not up there.
Well, let me see which one you're showing as pin 8. Okay, you're upside down. I got you. Never mind. Yeah, you're good.
Here we go. I'm just on the solder joint in different spots on the solder joint.
My guess is there's a buildup of solder with, obviously that board has like a little area that stuff can go under, and my guess is maybe a little bit of solder got under there. You might need a solder sucker.
I'll give it a shot. I'm happy.
Yeah, and like I say, we can continue on to the next step too, and honestly, we can always revisit that if you need to get a solder sucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keep on moving. If Frank's got all his connections good, keep on moving. I'll catch up.
Okay, cool. Well, the next step is a small piece, and it's gonna be a little 2-pin connector, if you will. It's like a white one. I got a page down here to find it myself. It's called the JST connector, and it's gonna go onto J1. No, it'll be just a small white little connector.
It's in this little bag here with the other.
Yeah.
Oh, it is in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was hard to see on Frank's screen there.
See, I got 2 lenses for my camera. It's a I got a 18 to 55 on there right now, and then I have a 75 to 200. But this, that's the max it goes. Then it'll jump down to closer, but then zoom in too much.
Oh yeah.
All right, so I got the little guy here.
All right, so that's gonna go. If you're looking at the board as you are right now, on the bottom left, there's going to be a spot there, and it might be labeled J1. Again, I don't have the. So look at your bottom left there. Now your bottom or upper right, and I think you were just really close to it right there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And you want it so that the open end is facing outwards. I think you got it. Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, those are really close. Ooh, those are really close.
And Joseph likes your hair temporarily offline.
Ah, thanks.
You got
Dan
special
likes
here today?
Dan likes Frank's hat.
No, it's just straight up into the camera because I'm trying to do this thing.
Thank you
Yeah, I
for
don't know.
the
I mean, if
compliment on the hat.
I'm working really hard to make sure that this pin right here
Mm-hmm.
is connected to the ground and is not connected to the shield. That's where I'm stuck.
Man, I'm impressed with this solder joint. I won't be able to see it.
I cannot see it on.
Given that they're so close together. This is gonna blow up. Love my confidence.
Tio,
All right.
I'm gonna read this one more time for you, Tio, just so you're aware. Pins 7, 9, 10, and 11, the blue arrows in this thing, are connected to the ground of the PC board and to the shield of the module.
So all 4 of these top pins are connected to the shield also.
Correct.
So I'm trying my best to desolder this thing from the shield, and it's already connected to it.
Yeah, I read that a while ago.
Okay. Because the other ones were not connected.
What is next, sir?
Oh, man, Frank, you're cruising along here, right?
I know, right? What's going on?
All right, let me bring this over here again. And it says to temporarily install your Raspberry Pi 4 into the Neo case, which we're not going to do because we don't have the holes drilled, I don't think. So do not use the thermal transfer pad at this time. Insert the Pi 4 into place, the bottom cover over it, and use the 4 screws to secure the cover. But I don't think we're going to be able to quite do that at this moment.
Well, we don't have to put the cover on.
Right.
Or does
Right.
the holes go on this part?
Here, I'm gonna share the screen with you guys again.
Where we're supposed was it supposed to drill holes in the lid or drill holes in the bottom part?
You see, that's the thing. You're gonna drill a hole on the outer exterior, the external portion of that case, but you also will drill a hole when you're ready. On that, you're holding your hand now, right near, like, I can't see, but like near pin 20.
Okay.
But
All right, we'll skip it then.
yeah, what we want to do is we want to start. I'm just making sure here. Let me see. I think we're going to want to install the GPIO pins, but let me just make sure about that real quick.
All these.
The reason they say to place the case on there is so you could secure the GPIO pins in place, so it's not constantly moving around and stuff like that. Excuse me.
Okay. So now we got to get this JST connector installed.
That's correct, Tio.
Okay, and this JST connector goes on J1.
That's correct. You got it. Facing outwards.
So like that.
Correct.
Perfect. That's hot.
So I have to get all 40 of these pins soldered.
Correct.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just take your time, heat each one of them up individually, and let the solder flow into there. You know.
That's actually easier than putting that shield on, Frank.
I agree. It definitely was. That shield is kind of a pain because of how it's positioned with that little crescent or half moon or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then that obviously goes out the bottom, right, dude? Like that?
Stand by.
As opposed to out the top?
That's correct.
Okay.
The way you have it right now is correct, yes. And wait, let me see how Frank has it, though, because I want to make sure Frank's also
Looks
got it
like
correct.
Frank's doing is upside down.
Right. Hold on a second, Frank.
What am I doing upside down?
So your Pi hat, the circuit board should go like this on top of the Pi.
Here, I'm going to share my screen again, guys. I'm going to zoom in right here. You see how the solder points are actually on the same side as the SA818?
Yeah.
How many you got soldered in there?
4, and they're good.
Yeah, if you could heat them up and pull it out, that'd be probably great.
Not saying that you messed up, but someone got ahead of the class.
Yeah, CTO, you did it a good way right there.
This holds it in place for me.
Yep.
This is just emphasizing more. I need a solder sucker. Oh no, what happened to that pin? It just like shot up inside.
You can fix that afterwards.
Hey, and while you guys are doing the soldering, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta stop my cam for just a second.
All right. Frank, how's the weather down in Texas today?
It's actually been raining. Been pretty nice. I enjoyed it. So anything going on in your channel, Tio?
Up here, we've got Coffee and Ham Radio tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on my channel with How We Learn. And before that, I've got a video where I found the original floppy disks that come with my compact portable.
No.
And I go through all of the different software that came with that and play around with it. It's got some neat stuff on it.
That's pretty cool. I'm getting close to my first 1,000, my first 1K. I've been hovering around 730 for a while. I like to try to push that 1,000K here soon.
You're talking about subscribers or
yeah, subscribers.
Video?
My subscriber count.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I had to go put on some essential oils.
You actually got there really fast, Frank.
Yes. Thank you. I've been riding on the coattails of giants.
That's what we try to do, is we try to get you to the point where you're ready to the audience come to you.
While you guys are doing that, if anybody is actually looking how to hook up your hotspot to the Allstar Shari in a convenient manner, I do have a video on it. I'll see if I can find you a link here. If not, go to my page, Ham Radio Dude, and just look for Allstar. I'll see if I can find it, though.
So how is Allstar different than DMR and D-Star and Fusion and all that jazz?
Well, in short, Allstar uses voice over IP protocols to make everything happen, and it's all analog, right? So you don't need some kind of special digital codecs or like DMR or P25 standards and stuff like that. In short, but it's the voice over IP things like asterisks and everything like that. They are already pretty well established. So it's kind of nice too, because you could set up extensions. Like if you had somebody who wanted to use IAX repeat or RPT, IAX RPT to from their computer, they could actually log into your server and then basically have an extension so they could get in the conversation as well too. So it's more voice over IP based as opposed to digital based.
I think this is where Frank stops, man. Can't get them out. I'm pulling now the pins out of the board.
So it's actually easier if you do that, Frank, if you pull the pins out of the plastic piece.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can
Okay.
desolder the pins individually one at a time, and then you can put those pins back into the plastic piece when you're done.
Okay. I'm scared now.
I am going to give you guys a link in the chat here. If you guys are curious about IAXRPT, there's a setup guide right there. And it's all Linux based. It's pretty simple. T.O. looking good.
Trying to figure out how to grab these now.
You catch the light just right. You can see like the shadows on them. It's like, okay, that one looks really bad. Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah, there's a couple of them I think in the middle here. The middle two, do they have enough solder or is it just an illusion on the camera?
It's the camera.
Okay. So I'll continue on here. If you're ready to go, Tio.
Yeah,
and then
please do.
Frank, I'll come back to you when you're ready, man.
Yeah.
Next up, we're going to go ahead and solder the. See, this is going to be tricky. So typically we would solder the SMA connector, but if we haven't, did you drill the holes already, Tio?
I did not, but woo, it's magnetic.
So here's the problem, right? If we solder the SMA connector in, will it still be all right? Yeah, we should be able to solder the SMA connector in and drill later. So you're going to solder the SMA connector onto the to the board.
Okay.
And it's going to be on the same side. I got to make sure that I say this correctly. It's going to be on the same side as that SA. Yeah, it's correct. You got it. Same side as the SA818 chip.
Oh, I bet these are easy to buy.
What's that? Those little 3D printed
These
pieces?
things.
Oh, they are. You
Yeah.
can get them at Micro Center, actually. Or Amazon.
Guess where Frank's stopping after work Monday.
Oh, you got a Micro Center nearby?
Yep.
Very nice. Yeah, ours is about an hour away.
You know, live in Texas, man. Everything's here.
So this antenna connector can only go on really one way.
I'm having a hard time seeing it.
Yeah, I'm zooming in. Then I got to recenter.
You know what? I'm
So
going to
there's
jump
two
to
prongs on the bottom
And 3 on the top, correct?
and then 3 on the top. So it can only go where it can make connections. Where is it? Right there.
Yeah, you had it correct there. And it says, when you are satisfied with the SMA connector alignment, solder the 2 ground pins to the PCB pads. So the outer pins on the top.
Yep.
I'm just going to jump to where you're at.
Yeah, no problem, Frank. Honestly, offline, we'll get you there. If not, and we might even need to do an episode 2 of this too.
Well, this might just be the assembly episode, and then we come back and do the second part.
Correct. Because we got about 10 minutes until the happy hour starts. And if you guys didn't know, Ham Radio 2.0 happy hour starts at about 10 minutes. I'll get a link here in the chat.
So I think we're at the point now where we've got live streams every night of the week.
Yeah, I'm still technically on vacation, and I'm going to be live streaming 5 days this week.
Nice. So I soldered the 2 points up top. Do I do the 2 points now below on the other side of the board?
So now that you got those 2 points, yes, now you'll go ahead and do the 2 points on the bottom.
So the third point on top, I still have not soldered.
The center one,
Yeah.
correct. And everybody, here is the link for Ham Radio 2.0 Happy Hour.
I put on more solder than I should have, but that's okay. This is art.
I'm actually liking these projects, man. I'm getting more and more confident with my soldering skills.
That's what it's about. I mean, we're just having a good time here working. And you know what? Making errors too. Like I said, I made plenty of errors with these Sharis as well. And it's kind of just a learning experience. And next time. And if anything, it's taught me is, I'm pretty ADD. I think we all know that. If anything, it's taught me though how to learn how to slow down.
So we should solder on that center pin here now soon.
It's funny enough, it doesn't say to do that yet.
Okay.
So what's next?
I
Hold on
got
a
top
second.
and bottom.
I got all the ground pins on.
Excellent. All right. Well, the next one is there's like a little. I think it's an LED light. It's a 3D printed LED light shield, and it says to slide it in place between LED 1 and 2 on the PCB.
So that's this thing, right?
As far as I could tell, yes.
It's the only 3D printed part left besides the template.
Correct.
This one?
Yes, Frank.
All right.
And that's gonna-
goes where?
My hands aren't this red. It's just the green mat in the camera.
If you look on the same side as the SA818 board, there's a resistor R11 and R10, and in between there, I think there's like an LED light. You're pretty close. So
It's-
where you're
It's right up on top of the antenna.
yeah, you got it. It should cover like the LED light, I believe.
Okay, but how?
So that's the thing. You're going to have one side that's larger than the other side, and the larger side is going to be on the same or the top side of the board or the same side as the SA818 chip.
Oh, okay, I get it. There's two different pieces here.
LED 1 or 2?
So there's two LEDs and it goes in
gonna
between it?
Between the two, because what it's doing is it's actually dividing it so when one LED light's going off, it doesn't appear through the case that they're both going off.
Okay.
So like
And
that.
The big
Yeah.
part is on top.
Correct.
All right. We're at the same
And
spot.
interestingly enough, I don't see it in the guide, but I might have just missed it. It doesn't say yet to solder the center pin, but we could probably do that right now.
I mean, you're going to have to.
You're gonna have to, yeah.
Or is it trying to let the antenna base cool off? Because you just did a couple of those big joints.
And let me look at here the next step while you guys are doing that.
Done.
Solder's on. It's melting. It's melting.
And I'm going to read this next step here. In this section, you'll perform final assembly of your Shari PiHat Allstar Node. Begin by removing the case, bottom cover, and the 4 screws, which we don't have right now. Remove the Pi 4 board. So we have the Pi 4 board out, and it says locate the gray heat conducting pad packaged with your Neo case.
Yep.
Remove the protective plastic film from one side of the pad, exposing a sticky surface. Place this pad with the sticky side over the CPU and adjacent IC and gently press it in place as shown in the photo. It will stick to them. Basically.
Actually, I already did that.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'll stick the feet on now while you guys are catching up.
So stick the pad here. The gray sticky pad.
No, on
No.
the actual Raspberry Pi 4.
On the Pi 4. Okay. So walk that one more time.
Yes, you're going to place that pad with the sticky side over the CPU and the adjacent IC. So I could actually see it on your screen, but it's kind of like...
Yep. Pick up your Pi 4, dude. Tank.
Okay.
Get your names right. See that
Yeah, there
shiny
you go.
chip in the center? That one?
Yeah.
And you need to cut
then
that
the one-
pad in half. Because one piece
Okay.
goes on the CPU
You
and one
don't
piece...
you don't need to cut the pad in half.
Okay, well,
It could be one
Oh, okay.
straight piece.
yeah. One straight piece across both of them, Frank. That'll work too.
Both this guy
And the
this
one
guy.
and the black chip next to it. Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Yeah,
got
did you take the sticky stuff off yet, or the protective film
I'm taking
for the
it.
sticky stuff?
I'm taking
Perfect.
that off now.
Awesome. We got about
There it
5
is.
minutes here.
Ah, I dropped it. And sticky stuff there, and sticky stuff there.
Boom.
Done.
All right, great. It says the next step here is remove the protective plastic film from the other exposed surface of the heat transfer pad.
Ah, I see.
But don't do this yet, though.
No.
Don't do this.
I'm gonna skip that step.
insert the Pi 4 board into the case and temporarily hold it in place using 2 screws. I think actually at this point in time, we're probably at a point where we want to stop to pick up for next time. And I say that because we're probably at that point where we need to make sure we have that hole drilled, the 2 holes that I was talking about earlier. So what we'll do is offline, I'll get with you guys and we'll drill those holes, and then the next episode we'll pick up.
All right. I will leave where this is. Minus, I will clean these up and get rid of these, and then I will solder all this. I can start that on stream. It don't matter. Yeah. Cool.
And then next time we just gotta finish the assembly real quick, and then we'll do all the software side of things, or the actual configuration of this all. But we need to make sure that SA818 chip is actually correctly
in there.
Correctly in there. Correct.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Nope. Maybe. Hey, I did that one right.
There you go.
Winning.
So
I did the hard one right.
I think that's a good stopping point. What do you think, Tio? I mean, we got 5 minutes.
Fantastic stopping point. There's really not much. Yep. We can't finish it, so we might as well stop at a good stopping point. I like this case.
Yeah.
I know. I'm going to have to buy more of these cases just for the pies. I'm going to put it in the box. Make sure I get everything in the box. Including the SD card.
Cool. So guys, don't forget to check out Ham Radio 2.0. I think there's going to be some familiar faces on there. You guys might know some people in there. Frank, are you going to be on Ham Radio 2.0 tonight?
Yes, I am going to be a little bit late. I got to pick up the camera and move it over there.
Perfect. What about you, Tio?
I might stop by for a couple of minutes and head on out after that.
Excellent. All right, cool. Guys, thanks for watching. It's kind of a fun little build. We're going to get part 2 in here, which will be awesome, and a conclusion, and you guys will get closure that we got this all up and running. And then what I'm going to do then is we're going to encourage everybody to jump on the next episode to a big all-star get-together. We'll all choose a node, and we'll all connect to it, and I'll see if we can even pipe it through the stream.
That would be awesome. I think we can.
I'm sure we can.
Cool. Don't forget, subscribe. Tank Radio 1000. I'm getting close. Let's do it.
Don says metal cases for pies are bad. Yeah, I was discussing that earlier.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We will see you on the next one. Thanks for being awesome.
I am awesome.